Yeah.
Me that.
Alright, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Kymani, Marley, come on, put your hands together, come on! Y'all don't know what it took to bring Kymani here to actually do this show for you tonight. But it's more about it, his book. And I want for him to shed some light. I don't want to be the one, I've read the book, and I found some very interesting things in this book. Every one of you should go out and pick up this book. And I want to tell you something. The reason why you all should go out and pick up this book is not just about his life, but it's about our life also. So, Kymani, tell him a little bit about this book and what it's really all about. I see a lot of people have the books. Make sure you get it autographed by him. Talk to me.
Alright, well, you know what I mean, first of all, when I approached writing the book, it was really for my friends, you know, like I said earlier, for my fans. For them to understand Kymani in whole and not assume one thing. You know what I mean, the book, for me, after writing the book and going back and reading the book for myself, the book for me became therapy. The book for me became my release. Now, my story is a unique story, and I think a lot of people who read the story won't believe, you know, some of the trials and tribulations that I went through as a child, you know what I mean? And so some of the things for me growing up, I was a very bitter youth growing up. So a lot of things that I did in the book, and a lot of things that I didn't put in the book, was done because of living in the state that I was living in and knowing that my father is the king of reggae. And a king. You know what I mean? I remember that on the day when my father was to be buried, ironically, I listened to my father's funeral inside of a barber shop. You know what I mean? And it's the book. You know what I mean? You know, people say controversial, and there might be some points that I touch on that may be somewhat controversial, but I didn't write the book for it to be controversial. I wrote the book to tell you my story. So therefore, if some things end up turning out that way, then, you know what I mean, that is it. And realize that the block that I'm living on is probably one of the most dangerous blocks in Miami at that time. The doorpost was directly across the street from me. Not around the other block, not on the back of the block, but directly across the street from me. My first week in America, my first experience in America was to my two neighbors having a fight, shooting through my yard, my backyard, at one another. And I'm standing outside watching it happen, not knowing the danger, you know what I mean, I was in at the time. But yeah, it's been quiet, you know. I moved from Jamaica in our borders, the two bedroom and 9 people, to America in our borders worse than the one over left for Jamaica with the same 9 people, the same 2 rooms.
See that.
So, you know, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. But, you know, I mean, looking back at it now, and people ask me every time, would I change anything? I wouldn't change anything at all, because I think it molded me into the character that I am today. You know what I mean? Just the fact that I can relate to the people firsthand versus, you know what I mean, hearsay. And it's definitely been a lesson of values, of integrity, of family, of overcoming, of continuing to fight, you know what I mean? The whole revolutionary mindset of it all. So I guess
Come on, give it up for Kymani Marley right here. Yeah. Now, Kymani, hold up before you go, man. One last thing. I know you want to run. One last thing. Manoma, one last thing. Dear Dad. The respect is there. That's the name of the book. If you want to respect it and give him Dear Dad and support him with Dear Dad, go and buy the book, pick up the book, get the book autographed. Now, before I ask him to actually autograph this book, I want to ask him a question. Kymani, before you actually do that track, Dear Dad, the majority of the people know, I think so, and this is my personal opinion, that you're the closest to your father. That's my personal opinion, and I reserve the right to say that. Okay, I personally reserve that right, and I'm quite sure quite a few other folks reserve that right. But it is no secret that you were not treated the same way as the other Marley siblings. How do you feel about that? It's in the book, and I want for you to just touch on it quickly. You don't have to go in detail, but a lot of people would like to know about that. And if you want to get the detail, make sure you get the book.
How do I feel about that? Well, like I said, I mean, growing up for me, I was a very bitter young man. You know what I mean? And I took out that frustration doing other things. You know what I mean? Like I said, knowing, it's not only you knowing, but when the neighborhood you're in know that, well, that is Marley child, that is the king of reggae child. And I'm not exaggerating when I say my house was the worst house on the block. You know what I mean? So all them things as a child, it built up certain frustration, so I lash out enough, you know what I mean? And for me, it was really just to get past it, you know, because nothing was going to change unless I changed something. And I just thank God that I received the gift of music, that him carry me along the journey, and carry me on, so I have things to speak about that is of relevance. You know what I mean? So, all in all,
here you are today. Dear Dad, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
Yeah. Dear God, I have a letter here from me to Dad, and I want to let you know my baby son. Dear God, let me hear from me to Dad, and I want to let you know. Here it goes. Dear Dad, I really didn't get to know you, and sometimes I sit and wonder and it makes me blue. But there's one memory that stays in the back of my mind, and this memory got me thinking about you all the time. Whoa, I swear I miss you so, and I wish that you was here to see your boys grow. In case you're wondering, my miss is doing fine, and she tells me stories about you, Papa, all the time. So when I'm down the night, lonely or just feeling blue, all I do, Dad, is think of you. The thought alone erase my fears and dries my tears. I'm just writing to let you know that New York cares. I love you, really, really love you, Daddy. I miss you, and I know my brothers and sisters do too. I love you, really, really love you. Oh, so true. Listen, and I know you gave your love to the people, and some of whom you thought you could trust, they deceived you. But betrayal brings another day. At least that's what my mama say. And then when I'm through, I place this letter in the Bible, and I'm gonna pray to God to send his disciples to deliver you my letter. Oh, it will make her feel much better. Now I'm saying, dear God, I have a letter here from me to Dad, and I want to let you know my little son. Dear God, the book, Rastafari, New York City, love.
Make some noise for Kymani Marley!
I want to say much respect to Squeeze for having me here. Jam Rock Link Up Radio, you don't know. Salute, Rastafari.
Manners and respect. Give it up one more time for Kymani Marley! A very inspirational and very touching moment right there with Kymani Marley.